Good evening, everybody. It is such an honor to be here with all of you this evening. My name is Deborah Bankhead, and I'm here representing the Junior League of Fort Worth, and it is my privilege to share with all of you how the Junior League and the Multicultural Alliance have partnered to further diversity and inclusion in the Fort Worth community. I would like to just take a moment to speak to you all about how these two great organizations came together. It was at the 2016 annual league conference that Tiffany Rubenkeneg, our current league president, was blessed to meet Cheryl Kimberling, the current president of the Multicultural Alliance. This meeting came at the perfect time as the league had been working through a 2015 adoption of a commitment to diversity and inclusion statement. For some time, the Association of Junior League has taken significant steps to cultivate and adopt diversity and inclusion practices. And in formulating an official statement, it has become a priority of the Junior League of Fort Worth to further this commitment by working through ideas that intentionally foster awareness and help us make better decisions together, to create places where everyone can thrive, and to celebrate our diversity and inclusion. It was through one of these brainstorming sessions that between Tiffany and Cheryl, that the Table Talk event was born. Table Talk brings together powerful women's organizations in our community and provides an opportunity for the strong women leaders representing these organizations to learn from one another. Last month, I was fortunate enough to be a part of a Table Talk. We actually had it just down the hall. And to be honest, I wasn't quite sure what I was getting into. I was invited by another league member and knew nothing about Table Talk. Once I arrived, I found myself placed at a table with 7 other women, none of whom I'd met, but they represented league members, members from the Links Incorporated, and members from the Hispanic Women's Network. And as I began visiting with these wonderful women, I realized that it was going to be a very special evening. For those of you who may have not had the opportunity to attend a Table Talk, the format of the evening is a guided discussion over dinner. Each table has a facilitator who is prepped with question cards. There's 2 rounds of questions during the dinner, and the first question is an icebreaker question, something like, what meal could you not live without, which would be every meal for me, but you know. Or something like, which book have you read and why would you recommend it to the group? You draw these cards at complete random, so you don't know what you're gonna get, and you just go in a circle around the table. The second round asks participants to dig a little bit deeper and to share a personal experience. It was during this round that I was floored at how much I had in common with the women at my table. There we were, just 8 women, different ages, different backgrounds, different races, different life experiences, and yet we had so much in common. One of the pivotal parts of the evening for myself was when the first young lady who answered the hard question, as I'll call it, she shared a personal struggle she was having within her relationship with her husband. It happened to be something that I had experienced myself, but I'd always been too embarrassed or ashamed to open up with anyone about, and I felt so comforted in that moment knowing that there's another strong woman in this community who's experiencing the exact same thing I'm experiencing. As more women began to share their stories, I recognized that those connections were happening as each question was answered. My question asked me to share a time about when I felt included, and I felt disappointed in myself because it was a tough question for me. I think every person in this room could say and share a story of when they felt excluded, but remembering one significant time when you felt included is a little bit different. And it kind of nagged on me for the rest of the evening because I ended up sharing something from high school, something topical, and I wished I had given more to my group with that question. But as I was driving home that evening, realization kind of dawned on me, and I realized that from the second I took my seat at that table, these women were willing to open themselves up and share their experiences with me And without knowing me at all, they respected and listened to everything I had to say. And that very night, I had felt included, and it has stuck with me since the event. So thank you very much for having us here tonight.
Hello. My name is Deborah Jones. Sorry about that. And I am the daughter of James and Dion Bagsby, who are longstanding public servants of this community. My father was part of the Fort Worth Human Relations Committee and the Fort Worth City Council in the 70s. And my mother was Tarrant County, I'm sorry, I work for Tarrant County College, okay? So, different hat, was Tarrant County's first female, first African American, and the first person of any color to serve as county commissioner in Tarrant County. My mother is also a Link member, and I wanted to share that with you because then you'll understand me better. But she is a platinum member of the Links Incorporated, and she earned this distinction because of her commitment to service and the recommendation from her chapter. I joined the Links in 2000, which happens to be the same time I joined Junior League. And both of those organizations I joined because of their commitment to service. The Links Incorporated is an international, nonprofit volunteer organization of accomplished, dedicated women who are active in their community, and they have a commitment to the cultural and economic survival and enrichment of African Americans and the African descent. I am always concerned with the future and the work that must be done for our society to fulfill its promises. We are all given one life, and it's important that we choose to make a positive difference in the world around us. I was invited to Table Talk by Maddie Compton, my friend and Link sister, and also a former board member of MCA. And I am just honored that she included me in this opportunity. I think Table Talk was an opportunity to sort of follow the millennial example of just putting it all out there. You know, sharing commonalities of our experience to a mutual benefit. Table Talk promotes you to think, connect, share at a level that we normally don't. If you think about it, Table Talk is like social media in person. We put our private selves out there, our raw selves on display for virtual strangers. I want to take just a moment just to share a few words. I talked to my daughter, who's a millennial, and I'm very proud of her. But she had written some words that really touched me, and it made me think about Table Talk and my experience. And she said, reality has a vulnerability in perspective. The world each of us sees isn't the same, and it is so important that we use our commonalities as human beings to support the value of alternative viewpoints. Diversity is strength. We are best positioned to evaluate situations and effect change when we can analyze and come at a concern from a variety of positions. This Table Talk provided an opportunity for women of diverse backgrounds, cultures, ages, and experiences to give voice to the understanding of the society we share. I encourage each of you to participate in a Table Talk. Through these shared experiences, we can change the world to be a better place for us all.
That's a tough act to follow. All right. Well, good evening, everyone. My name's Jennifer Trevino, and I have the privilege of serving as the immediate past chair of the Fort Worth chapter of the Hispanic Women's Network of Texas. I've been a member of the organization since 2004 when I finished my MBA at TCU and thought, I'm going to have all this free time. Little did I know that that one organization would lead to so many different opportunities and possibilities. So when I was first approached about participating in Table Talk, I was still the chair. And so many of you may know who helped to kind of connect us. It was Rosa Navahar, who's a past chair of HWT and an incredible connector in this community, as you all know. And so the concept was so appealing to me because I thought, well, why wouldn't we want to have the opportunity as our organization to interact with two other strong women's organizations with another organization that does great work in our community? So of course we said yes. And I told the chair that was coming in after me, by the way, you've got this event in March, we're not sure the date, and we'll figure out all the details. For me personally, one of my table mates' stories really resonated with me because she shared a pretty personal experience where she and her brother had had a tenuous relationship based around his alcoholism. And how they had gotten past that and how they'd had a sit down of forgiveness. And each thought the other one needed to forgive the other kind of thing. But then they really were beating each other up, so to speak, or themselves that they hadn't done more. So that inspired me because I have a younger brother who's almost 8 years younger. And we are close but don't communicate often, even with social media and texts and all those kinds of things. And so it really inspired me to, despite our busy lives, to take that time, make that time. And a week later, I took an opportunity to just out of the blue, meet him, and we got together to listen to one of our favorite mutual local musicians and just visit. And it was just, casual, unplanned, great conversation that I don't know that would have happened if I hadn't gone to Table Talk. So I also polled some of our other participants from our organization to see, well, what takeaways did they have that they would want to share with you all? So I have some excerpts from a few of our members. As I reflect on why this event was so successful, it is because the MCA Table Talk provided an opportunity to speak in a safe space where everyone came with an open heart and an open mind to truly listen to one another. Everyone was willing to be vulnerable, and when we understood that and received a question, it made speaking about our experiences so easy. Not that the answers were easy. That was spoken by our current chair, Crystal Alba. Another member, Merjit, said that this was really profound to me. It was amazing to have the opportunity to share experiences with other women, being able to talk about similar situations from different perspectives, gave us the opportunity to meet in the similarities instead of the differences. I want to say that again because I think it's just so powerful. It's an opportunity to meet in the similarities instead of the differences. And we need more opportunities to share those different perspectives with each other. Another member said that we all realized we had some type of struggle and we were not as different as we thought. Another poignant point that this member's made was the fact that she said they're all keeping in touch and they're going to meet again. So a group of women who had not met before shared one meal and they're going to continue their relationship going forward. And I thought that was really powerful as well. And last but not least, Cynthia said that you learned about personal aspects of their lives, some extremely surprising about their background, and how that created the strong, successful women that they are today. So I would, like the other women, echo that if you have the opportunity to participate in a table talk or bring that to your organization or some other opportunity, please take advantage of it because I think it's a great way for us to all live the mottos that many folks like myself adhere to, where we want to be the change that we want to see in this world. So, thank you.
In closing, and kind of to compound on what we just talked about, I wanted to share a little bit of the feedback that we received after the event. The leaders from the 3 organizations, they sent out questionnaires to gather feedback and kind of gauge the interest in future table talk events. And out of 70 women, we had no negative feedback. Almost every woman who responded to the questionnaires told us that meeting new friends and hearing people's stories was their favorite part of the evening. Even more telling was the 100% demand to have future table talks and to have future get-togethers with the women that they shared the experience with at their individual tables. The women in our community want these types of events to continue, and the success of our community depends on these types of events continuing. So thank you so much for y'all's time.